Hi, I'm Amy from Our Amiable Farmhouse, and today I'm going to share with you how I make my family an elderberry syrup. This is what I use to help keep us healthy during the cold and flu season. It's just a simple herbal syrup that I make that can help boost our immune system, and I've also found that it helps lessen the duration of our cold. The weather has changed. It's now kind of cold and gloomy outside. It's fall and the colors are beautiful. When the sun shines, there are some golden colors in the leaves, some bright orange pumpkins, and some deep mahogany red leaves and flowers. It's gorgeous. I love this time of year. But with the change in season also means a lot of colds and flus, and we're susceptible to all those, little snot-nosed kids running around that get us sick. Scratch that. Those little heavenly blessings of carriers of germs that freely pass along their gifts to others in the form of colds. So to help combat that, I just make this elderberry syrup, and if we start to feel like we're coming down with something, we immediately administer 1 to 3 tablespoons a day. So by that I mean in the morning we'll take a tablespoon, and if we're still feeling icky by noon, we're taking another tablespoon, and before we go to bed, we'll take another tablespoon. And it's pretty good. It's a syrup, so it's made with a pretty good amount of honey, so the kids like it. Elderberry is a very strong taste, so especially when I boil it with some ginger and cinnamon, because those are very healthy and have their own health benefits to them. It's very strong tasting. Oh, and the cloves. Yeah, don't forget the cloves. So all those herbs and spices together help to combat the cold and flu germs. And the honey has its own benefits as well, and so that just sweetens up the whole syrup and makes it last longer in the fridge too. So I do store this in the fridge, and it will keep several weeks. I think I've probably had it in there up to maybe 2 months, and it's still fine, and I think that's because of the honey. We just use raw unfiltered honey from a local source, and so that helps keep it in the fridge longer as well. Now, because this syrup doesn't have any alcohol in it, I do keep it in the fridge. This elderberry syrup is a great addition to your normal routine of keeping healthy, whatever that looks like. For our family, sometimes we will supplement with a fermented cod liver oil. We take vitamin C, vitamin D, and when the cold and flus are coming on, we hit it with the elderberry syrup and some echinacea as well. Oh, and I forgot about the Baobab powder. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I should probably look that up for the proper pronunciation. In fact, let me do that right now. Okay, turns out I was saying it wrong. Baobab, it's Baobab.
Baobab.
Did you hear that? One more time.
Baobab.
So that's Baobab. We routinely use Baobab in either smoothies or make a little juice out of it. And if we are sick, then I increase the Baobab powder to a tablespoon at each serving. That helps keep the immune system strong and working well against fighting those cold and flu germs. Back to the elderberry syrup. So it's very, very simple. I will make a quart jar at a time so that I have it sitting in the fridge, ready at a moment's notice when anyone starts to get a tickle in their throat, a stuffy nose, the sniffles, sneezing, achy body, any of that kind of stuff that we don't want around here. Then it's ready to administer. Simply take 3 cups of water, and into a pot I'm gonna put 3 cups of water, 3/4 cup dried elderberries. Now, I get my elderberries from, usually from Azure. Azure Standard has been out for quite some time. This last batch I purchased on Amazon. It's organic elderberries, Sambucus nigra. Don't know if I'm saying that right either. Listen, people, I am not well educated in the Latin arts of word pronunciation, or whatever you want to call that, but I'm just going to go with that. So that's where I source my elderberries. I would like to source them from my backyard in the future, hopefully, and so I need to get some plants and grow them first. So it's on the to-do list. And to the water and elderberries, I'm going to add a cinnamon stick. I buy in bulk as well because they're great to use in this syrup or making a potpourri on the stove. They also make great gifts when, like a hostess gift, if you put together a little bag of potpourri. And ginger. I like to use the root, ginger root. And I just buy it in bulk again from Azure. Costco carries ginger in bulk, organic ginger, which is great. And so when I remember to put it on my list, I will buy it at Costco. I will put about an inch of the root and throw it in there. I will slice it up just so that it can be sure to get into all the nooks and crannies of the ginger root goodness. What I mean is like be able to pull the nutrients out of the ginger more easily and in less time, because I'm only going to be boiling this for about 30 minutes. Ginger is also used for shortening the duration and preventing colds. I also add some cloves. Cloves have their own similar health benefits, great antioxidant, and can fight off bacteria. And now I'm going to simmer that on the stove for 30 minutes. I go ahead and simmer it with the lid on so that all of the water doesn't evaporate. After 30 minutes, strain off the berries. I like to push the berries through a fine strainer to really smash out all the goodness in there. And then I let it rest and cool down to just above room temperature when it's still warm so that it can melt the honey. And I add 1 cup of honey. Now, in the past, I have chosen to reduce the honey to 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup if I could get away with it. But normally you could add 1 cup of honey. If I do reduce the amount of honey, I add a little bit more water because I'm really wanting to make a quart at a time. And then you just stir to dissolve the honey, and that's it. Pour into a quart-size mason jar and store in the refrigerator. And every time you're feeling a little under the weather, take a tablespoon or 2 or 3. You could also take a tablespoon a day as a daily regimen to keep your immune system boosted and healthy. Before I started making my own elderberry syrup, I would purchase it from the store. Usually when we're in the throes of a nasty cold or flu. And have you priced those bottles? I want to say it was like a little tincture bottle, maybe 4 ounces. Oh, maybe not even that, maybe 2 ounces. Like for $18, $20. Yeah, that stuff is expensive. Not good for my budget, for sure. So, for about the same price, I can buy a pound of dried elderberries and add a few other ingredients that I usually keep on hand because I use them in a lot of other cooking and chai tea lattes and such. So I've got a lot of the ingredients already, and I can just whip up this syrup in no time, be on my way to better health. And I feel so good that I can make something from scratch that helps my family. And that's it, another simple tutorial for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new. If you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell to be notified each time a new video goes live. I'm so glad you're here, and it's great to meet you. Each week, I bring a new video on simple food, simple living, simply handmade. Thanks so much for stopping by our amiable farmhouse. See you next time.